The relationship between Jennifer Hudson and Common has, until recently, been presented as one of the most grounded and celebrated partnerships in contemporary entertainment. Both artists built careers defined not only by commercial success, but also by authenticity rooted in Chicago's South Side. Jennifer Hudson's trajectory, from singing in church choirs to becoming an EGOT winner, has long been framed as a story of resilience and discipline. Her achievements across music, film and television established her as a figure of stability and earned authority. Common, whose career spans conscious hip-hop, acting and activism, cultivated a reputation built on introspection and principled artistry. When the two publicly confirmed their relationship, the pairing was interpreted as a natural alignment of values and shared history. Their romance became official, in a manner consistent with their public personas, deliberate, warm and controlled. During an appearance on The Jennifer Hudson Show, Common described the relationship as a happy place, presenting flowers on air and expressing admiration for dating an EGOT winner. In subsequent interviews, he reinforced that sentiment, saying he thanked God each day for the partnership. Coverage from outlets such as Get Up Erica detailed how they addressed dating rumors directly, emphasizing mutual respect and spiritual alignment. The tone of those confirmations suggested intentional transparency rather than reactive disclosure. The relationship narrative deepened through discussions of long-term commitment. In interviews with The Breakfast Club and later on The Today Show, Common spoke openly about marriage, stating that Jennifer was the person he would marry. Reports in late 2024 documented his reaffirmation of those intentions. On podcasts such as Mama, I Made It, he described their connection as spiritually aligned and equally yoked. These remarks were not isolated. They formed a pattern of public praise that framed the partnership as serious and future-oriented. Public appearances reinforced that image. The couple attended events together and shared stages in Chicago, including a performance alongside John Legend that coverage described as affectionate and unified. Video compilations from The Jennifer Hudson Show captured moments of visible chemistry and mutual admiration. The relationship in its documented form appeared stable and publicly affirmed. There was no official indication of strain during those appearances. Against that backdrop, recent rumors have introduced a contrasting narrative centered on alleged betrayal during Grammy season in Los Angeles. According to online commentary and a widely circulated video breakdown, Common was reportedly seen at an exclusive venue called Gilas, accompanied by a woman who was not Jennifer Hudson. The claims describe him seated in a private booth, leaning closely toward a tall, model-type companion. These reports originated primarily from gossip channels rather than established news organizations. There has been no official confirmation from Common, Jennifer Hudson, or a reputable media outlet substantiating the alleged sighting. The impact of the rumor lies less in documented evidence and more in timing. Grammy season is a period of heightened visibility, when artists' movements are closely tracked by entertainment media. The idea that Jennifer might have learned of an alleged sighting through blogs rather than private disclosure has circulated within commentary platforms. However, no verified source has provided direct testimony confirming that sequence of events. The humiliation narrative remains rooted in speculative accounts rather than official statements. Jennifer Hudson has not released a public statement addressing the claims. Her response, as observed publicly, has been defined by absence rather than confrontation. She has continued hosting her daytime program and maintaining professional appearances. Observers note that her demeanor toward Common in recent public settings appears more restrained, though such interpretations are subjective. There have been no documented interviews in which she confirms a breakup or directly acknowledges the alleged club sighting. Meanwhile, Common has not issued a detailed rebuttal of the rumor. Commentary videos reference vague public relations language suggesting they remain good friends, yet no formal joint statement has been cited in the referenced reporting. The absence of confirmation has fueled speculation, but it does not equate to verified separation. The most recent confirmed public appearance, as reported by Hello magazine, depicted the pair looking close and engaged before the rumor cycle intensified. The contrast between documented affirmation and unverified allegation creates a tension that defines the current moment. On one side is a series of interviews, televised confirmations, and visible public appearances, emphasizing commitment and spiritual alignment. On the other is a cluster of gossip-driven claims about a private encounter during Grammy season. Without official acknowledgement, the relationship status remains unclear. At this stage, the documented facts include prior public declarations of affection, marriage intentions expressed in interviews, and a lack of confirmed breakup announcement. The alleged sighting at Gillis remains unverified by established outlets. The silence from both parties has allowed the rumor to circulate, but silence alone does not confirm its accuracy. The narrative now exists in a state shaped by contrast. The warmth and spiritual language that once defined their public bond stands alongside an unconfirmed allegation of disloyalty. The relationship, previously characterized by visible affirmation, has entered a period where absence of commentary carries interpretive weight. Whether that silence reflects internal recalibration or simply refusal to engage with speculation has not been formally clarified. As the rumors gained traction, the narrative surrounding Jennifer Hudson and Common shifted from celebration to scrutiny. What made the situation particularly combustible was the contrast between the depth of their prior public affirmations and the vagueness of the alleged betrayal. For months leading up to Grammy season, their relationship had been positioned not merely as romantic, but as spiritually grounded and future-facing. Common's repeated references to marriage, spiritual alignment, and divine gratitude created a framework in which loyalty was not implied, but explicitly promised. That context amplified the emotional weight of the gossip that followed. The alleged turning point centered on Grammy season in Los Angeles, a period when artists, executives, and celebrities circulate through a dense calendar of private parties and industry events. According to viral commentary videos and blog posts, Common was reportedly seen at an exclusive venue identified as Gillis. Descriptions claim he was seated in a private booth with a woman described as tall and model-like, leaning in closely in a manner interpreted by onlookers as intimate rather than platonic. These reports spread rapidly across social media platforms, often accompanied by dramatic voiceovers and speculative framing. However, the reporting remains rooted primarily in online commentary rather than established journalistic confirmation. No major outlet such as People, Entertainment Tonight, or the Associated Press has published photographic evidence or independently verified witness statements confirming the alleged interaction. The narrative persists through repetition rather than documented proof. That distinction is significant. In an era where celebrity encounters are frequently captured and disseminated instantly, the absence of confirmed imagery or formal reporting leaves the account within the realm of allegation. Despite the lack of formal verification, the rumor cycle intensified because it intersected with an already elevated public profile. Jennifer Hudson hosts a nationally syndicated daytime talk show. Common's presence on that program had been marked by affectionate exchanges and visible admiration. Clips from the Jennifer Hudson show, widely circulated on YouTube, show Common presenting flowers and describing their relationship as a happy place. He publicly acknowledged the blessing of dating an EGOT winner. Those moments were not fleeting, they became part of the couple's public identity. In subsequent interviews, Common reinforced that narrative. He discussed potential marriage during conversations on The Breakfast Club and reiterated on The Today Show that Jennifer was the person he would marry. These were not offhand remarks. They were direct responses to questions about long-term commitment. Articles documenting those statements framed the relationship as mature and intentional. Fans internalized that framing, interpreting the partnership as stable and spiritually anchored. It is against that backdrop that the alleged Grammy season sighting resonated so strongly. The rumor did not suggest a casual misunderstanding. It implied contradiction. If the relationship was spiritually aligned and marriage-minded, how could a public club appearance with another woman fit into that narrative? The tension between promise and allegation fueled online debate. Jennifer Hudson's response, or lack thereof, became central to the story's evolution. She did not issue a statement addressing the rumor directly. She did not reference it on her show. She did not post cryptic messages implying betrayal. Instead, her public presence continued without visible disruption. Episodes of her program aired as scheduled. Professional engagements proceeded. From a communications standpoint, this approach reflected restraint rather than reaction. Observers described her demeanor as cooler in recent public appearances, though such interpretations are inherently subjective. No transcripted exchange documents a public confrontation or visible dispute between the two. The perception of distance has largely been inferred from absence rather than confirmed declaration. In high-profile relationships, absence can be read as confirmation, even when it is simply silence. Common's public posture also shifted subtly. Following the Rumour cycle, he appeared less frequently alongside Jennifer in visible settings. Red carpet appearances that once included both were either absent or unremarked upon in entertainment coverage. Yet there has been no official announcement of separation. No joint statement clarified their status. The only commentary referenced in viral breakdowns mentions vague public relations language, suggesting they remain good friends. Without a formal quote attributed to Common or Hudson in a verified outlet, even that characterization remains loosely sourced. Complicating the narrative further is the suggestion that the alleged mystery woman may have had a connection to Jennifer's extended circle. This claim surfaced in a blind item circulated online. Blind items, by nature, omit direct names and rely on coded language. They are speculative vehicles rather than confirmed reporting. No reputable publication has substantiated the claim that the woman at Gilas had a direct link to Hudson's inner circle. Nonetheless, the suggestion intensified the emotional framing of betrayal. The emotional dimension of the story, particularly the phrase attributed to insiders claiming Jennifer privately lamented, "He was supposed to love me," remains unverified. There is no on-record interview in which she expressed such a sentiment. The quote circulates within commentary channels but lacks a confirmed source. Its repetition illustrates how narrative language can crystallize perception even without authentication. Meanwhile, documented history offers a contrasting picture. The couple's last major confirmed public outing, as reported by Hello magazine, involved a Chicago performance alongside John Legend. Coverage described them as affectionate and united. That appearance predates the Rumour cycle. It stands as the most recent verified visual evidence of closeness. The absence of subsequent joint appearances has been interpreted as meaningful, but absence alone does not establish timeline or cause. The broader context of Grammy season also matters. High-profile artists frequently attend industry events, surrounded by colleagues, collaborators, and acquaintances. Proximity in a crowded venue does not automatically equate to misconduct. Without confirmed photographs or first-hand accounts from named witnesses, the interpretation of body language remains speculative. The Rumour's persistence relies on descriptive language rather than documented interaction. From a brand perspective, both individuals have significant incentives to maintain stability. Jennifer Hudson's identity as a host and performer depends on credibility and composure. Common's image as a thoughtful, conscious artist is tied to integrity and spiritual rhetoric. Any confirmed betrayal would carry reputational consequences. That reality may partially explain the measured silence from both camps. The silence itself, however, has become narrative fuel. In digital culture, silence can be read as guilt, strategic avoidance, or dignified restraint. Without clarification, audiences project meaning. Some interpret Hudson's quiet posture as silent revenge, suggesting emotional withdrawal without public spectacle. Others view it as evidence that the relationship remains intact and untroubled by gossip. The ambiguity allows multiple interpretations to coexist. There is also a structural pattern in celebrity rumor cycles worth noting. Relationships often undergo phases of heightened speculation when visible joint appearances decrease. Touring schedules, filming commitments, and professional obligations can naturally reduce shared public exposure. Without confirmation, observers may misattribute routine scheduling gaps to conflict. At present, the documented record includes confirmed public affirmations of love and marriage intentions from 2024, a verified affectionate public appearance in Chicago prior to Grammy season, and a lack of official breakup statement following the alleged club sighting. The rumor of infidelity originates from online commentary referencing a venue encounter without independent verification from established outlets. The situation therefore remains defined by contrast, rather than confirmation. On one side stands a series of public declarations rooted in spiritual language and future commitment. On the other stands a single unverified allegation of inappropriate proximity during Grammy season. Between those poles lies silence. Whether the relationship is undergoing private recalibration or simply weathering external speculation has not been formally disclosed. The absence of public warmth in recent weeks has been noted, but absence does not equal conclusion. Until one of the parties addresses the matter directly in a confirmed interview or statement, the status of the partnership remains unresolved. What is clear is that the narrative has shifted from celebration to scrutiny. The spiritual alignment once emphasized in interviews now contrasts with whispered claims of betrayal. The public warmth once displayed on national television has given way to professional distance. The evolution of perception, driven largely by repetition rather than documented evidence, illustrates how quickly a celebrated romance can enter a phase defined by ambiguity. For now, the documented facts remain limited. There is no confirmed photographic proof of misconduct. There is no verified statement from Jennifer Hudson declaring a breakup. There is no formal announcement from Common confirming separation. The silence between them, interpreted in multiple ways, continues to shape the story. Whether that silence signals resolution behind closed doors or merely a refusal to engage with rumor remains unanswered. As the speculation surrounding Jennifer Hudson and Common continues to circulate, the long-term implications now extend beyond a single alleged Grammy season sighting. What remains most striking is not an explosive confirmation, but the absence of one. In high-profile relationships, especially those publicly affirmed with language of spiritual alignment and marriage intention, silence becomes a powerful signal. Yet silence by itself does not equal confirmation of betrayal or separation. It simply creates space for interpretation. The first major implication concerns credibility. Both Jennifer Hudson and Common have cultivated reputations grounded in integrity. Hudson's career has been built on resilience, professionalism, and composure. From her early rise on American Idol to her eventual EGOT achievement, she has maintained an image of steadiness, even in the face of personal tragedy. Common, meanwhile, has positioned himself as a reflective and principled voice in hip-hop and Hollywood. His interviews often center on growth, alignment, and higher purpose. When he publicly described their relationship as spiritually aligned and equally yoked, he attached moral language to romantic commitment. That framing elevated expectations. If the relationship were to end quietly, without scandal, it would likely be interpreted as a private decision. However, the rumor of public disloyalty complicates that possibility. The alleged sighting at Gillis, though unverified by major news organizations, introduced a narrative of contradiction between words and actions. For a couple whose bond was repeatedly described in spiritual terms, even the perception of inconsistency can be reputationally significant. Yet, as of now, there is no confirmed documentation of infidelity. No photographic evidence has been published by reputable outlets. No named witness has given an on-record statement in a mainstream publication. No direct quote from either Hudson or Common acknowledges the rumor. The story persists through repetition on commentary platforms, not through institutional reporting. That distinction is critical in assessing long-term consequence. Jennifer Hudson's response strategy also carries broader meaning. She has neither defended nor condemned. She has not addressed the alleged sighting on her show, where she has full narrative control. She has not posted cryptic messages or publicized emotional commentary. Instead, she has maintained professional continuity. Episodes of her daytime program have aired without visible disruption. Appearances and engagements have proceeded. This approach reflects a communications choice rooted in preservation rather than reaction. Such restraint can function in multiple ways. It may indicate a desire to resolve matters privately. It may reflect confidence that the rumor lacks substance. It may also represent brand discipline, particularly for a host whose public identity depends on warmth and credibility. Engaging publicly with unverified gossip risks amplifying it. Ignoring it may allow it to dissipate. Common's reduced visibility alongside Hudson has added to speculation. However, the absence of joint appearances does not automatically confirm rupture. Scheduling constraints, independent projects, and strategic distancing from media cycles are common within celebrity partnerships. Without a formal statement, any interpretation of distance remains speculative. There is also the structural factor of media amplification. Rumor-driven videos and blind items often rely on evocative language rather than verifiable sourcing. Phrases such as tucked away in a private booth and leaning in close are descriptive but not evidentiary. In the absence of confirmed images or named testimony, they remain narrative devices rather than documented fact. The suggestion that the alleged woman was connected to Hudson's inner circle stems from blind item speculation, which by definition omits confirmable detail. From a brand perspective, both individuals remain independently strong. Jennifer Hudson's career spans television hosting, music, and film. Her accomplishments are institutional and widely recognized. Common maintains a portfolio that includes music, acting, and activism. Neither brand is dependent solely on the relationship. The partnership enhanced public narrative, but its dissolution would not erase professional credibility. The broader cultural implication lies in how quickly public warmth can shift to perceived distance. Their relationship was celebrated as a symbol of Chicago pride and spiritual compatibility. That symbolism intensified the emotional investment of fans. When rumor contradicts symbol, reaction can be swift. However, sustained impact requires confirmation. The long-term stability of their public image may ultimately depend on whether either party chooses to clarify. Historically, celebrity couples who publicly affirm commitment often issue statements when significant changes occur. As of the documented reporting, no such statement has been made. The last confirmed major public appearance, as covered by Hello magazine, depicted them united at a Chicago performance. That documented moment contrasts sharply with the unverified Grammy season allegation. If the relationship continues privately, the current silence may eventually be interpreted as disciplined refusal to engage with gossip. If it ends quietly, the absence of confrontation could preserve mutual dignity. The reputational outcome will likely hinge not on the rumor itself, but on whether additional verifiable information emerges. At present, the documented facts are limited to prior public declarations of affection and marriage intention, a confirmed affectionate appearance before Grammy season, and an absence of official breakup announcement following the alleged sighting. Everything beyond that remains in the realm of unverified report. The silence between them has become the defining feature of this chapter. In celebrity culture, silence is often interpreted as strategy. It may also be a boundary. Without explicit acknowledgement, the narrative remains incomplete. The spiritual language once used publicly still exists in record. The allegation of betrayal remains unconfirmed. Between those poles lies ambiguity. Whether this chapter represents a temporary recalibration or a permanent shift has not been formally disclosed. The relationship's future status remains unknown. What can be confirmed is that both parties continue their professional paths without public confrontation. In a landscape where reaction is often immediate and dramatic, restraint itself becomes notable. Until a verified statement clarifies their standing, the story rests in a state defined more by contrast than by conclusion. The warmth once visible has receded from public view. The alleged betrayal remains unproven. The silence continues,